In today's world, especially with AI changing everything, an enterprise's success really comes down to one thing: its data foundation. So today, we're going to break down the modern data stack. We'll be using insights from a Segmetriq Analytics briefing to really understand how to build those AI-ready, trusted, and scalable data architectures.
So, here's our game plan. First, we'll pinpoint why traditional data architectures just aren't cutting it anymore. Then, we'll introduce the modern data stack as the solution. We'll dive into its real-world benefits for AI and analytics, and, importantly, look at the common challenges you might face. We'll wrap up with a solid framework for success and talk about why having the right partner is so crucial.
All right, let's start with the core issue. Why is there such an urgent need for a completely new way of thinking about data? Well, it's what we call the data evolution problem. Basically, the old ways of doing things are breaking down under the pressure of modern demands.
And this quote really hits the nail on the head. The systems that were built for a much simpler world of structured, on-premise data, they are fundamentally ill-equipped for the sheer volume, speed, and variety of data we have today. This isn't just an opinion. It's a technical reality that's creating major business headaches for so many companies.
You see, organizations are facing a perfect storm. We've got exponential data growth coming from all directions, top-down mandates for cloud-first transformation, and this relentless pressure to deliver AI and analytics at scale. And as you can see here, those traditional monolithic databases and on-premise warehouses, they're just struggling to keep up. This leads to slow insights, missed opportunities, and ultimately a loss of competitive edge.
This image really captures the complexity of those old systems. What you're looking at is a rigid, inflexible architecture that basically becomes a massive bottleneck. Every time you want to add a new data source or meet a new analytical need, you're just adding another layer of complexity. It makes it almost impossible to adapt and scale in today's environment.
So, now that we've established the problem, let's turn to the solution. And that brings us to the modern data stack, which is truly a new paradigm for how enterprise data should be managed and, more importantly, put to work.
So what exactly is the modern data stack? Well, at its core, it's a fundamental shift in both philosophy and technology. We're moving away from those rigid, all-in-one systems of the past and toward a flexible, composable architecture that has one primary goal: to dramatically speed up the journey from raw data to actionable insight.
The first pillar of the modern data stack is its cloud-native foundation. This means it's built from the ground up on scalable cloud infrastructure. This doesn't just get rid of the old hardware limitations, it enables what we call elastic compute resources, which is the incredible ability to scale your processing power up or down instantly based on what you need. The second pillar is a modular architecture. This is all about using a hand-picked set of the best tools for each job and making sure they integrate seamlessly. So instead of being locked into a single vendor's ecosystem, you can now pick and choose specialized solutions. For instance, you might use Fivetran for data ingestion, Snowflake for your data warehouse, and dbt for data transformation.
And the third pillar, and honestly, this might be the most transformative, is self-service analytics. This is all about empowering your business users and their data teams to get in there and access, transform, and analyze data themselves without waiting in line for IT. It's about democratizing data, which is how you build a real data-driven culture throughout the entire organization.
This slide gives you a great visual of how the data actually flows. It all starts with your various data sources. From there, the data gets pulled through an automated ingestion process and lands in a central cloud warehouse. This is where it's stored and organized, making it ready to be transformed into a clean, analysis-ready format.
Okay, so we know what it is, but let's get to the real question. Why does it matter so much? Let's talk about the core benefits this new architecture delivers, especially for crucial projects like AI and advanced analytics.
First and foremost, speed. We're talking about unprecedented speed. With a modern data stack, you can deploy brand new data pipelines in a matter of days, not the months it used to take. By using cloud-native tools, you just completely eliminate those old infrastructure bottlenecks that slowed everything down, which means you get to value so much faster.
The second huge benefit is massive scalability. For large enterprises, the ability to handle petabyte-scale data workloads without breaking a sweat is a total game changer. Those elastic compute resources we talked about, they automatically scale up or down based on demand, so you get peak performance without anyone having to lift a finger.
Then there's the incredible flexibility you get from that modular design. It means you can adapt to changing business needs with amazing agility. You can swap out a tool, add a new capability, and let your stack evolve over time, all without being forced into those massive, disruptive rip-and-replace projects.
And at the end of the day, all of this leads to one thing: better decision-making. When you democratize data access with these self-service tools, you empower teams everywhere to find their own insights. And that is how you build a truly data-driven culture from the ground up.
Now, of course, adopting a new paradigm like this is not without its challenges, and it's really important to be clear-eyed about the potential difficulties you might encounter on the implementation journey.
So let's look at the common mistakes to avoid. Tool overload is a big one. That's when you adopt a bunch of new tools without a clear integration strategy, which just leads to chaos. Poor data quality, of course, is the classic garbage in, garbage out problem that kills trust in your data. A lack of governance opens you up to serious security and compliance risks. And finally, if you underestimate the challenge of integration gaps, you can actually create new data silos, which defeats the whole purpose. Getting this right requires a careful balance of innovation and discipline.
So how do you navigate those challenges and make sure you succeed? Well, that brings us to a clear, strategic framework that the most effective enterprises use to build their modern data stack.
It really boils down to 4 critical steps. Number 1, take a strategic approach. This means you always start with the business outcome you're trying to achieve, not with the technology itself. 2, ensure business alignment. Get your stakeholders from all across the business involved. 3, establish robust data governance right from the start to build trust and manage risk. And 4, apply architecture thinking, designed for modularity, interoperability, and the future.
And this expert insight here is absolutely crucial for your success. The best implementations always follow a phased approach. You start with high-impact use cases, you prove the value quickly, and then you expand systematically across the enterprise. It's all about building momentum and showing a return on investment, not trying to do a big bang transformation all at once. This brings us to our final section. For a transformation of this scale, having the right partner to guide you is absolutely critical. And this is where the expertise of a firm like Segmetriq Analytics really becomes invaluable.
And their credentials really speak for themselves. We're talking about over a decade of enterprise data expertise, more than 50 successful projects delivered, and deep, specialized knowledge in data architecture, cloud platforms, and AI enablement, with a real focus on the specific needs of NBFCs, banks, and fintechs.
So the final question is this: are you ready to transform your data foundation into a true strategic asset? Whether you're just starting your modern data stack journey or you're looking to optimize what you already have, building an AI-ready infrastructure isn't really an option anymore. It's a competitive must. For anyone looking for expert guidance on this critical transformation, the contact information for Segmetriq Analytics is right there for you.